الله نور السماوات والأرض مثل نوره كمشكاة فيها مصباح المصباح في زجاجة الزجاجة كأنها كوكب دري يوقد من شجرة مباركة زيتونة لا شرقية ولا غربية يكاد زيتها يضيء ولو لم تمسسه نار نور على نور.
اقرأ أخيا ورتل القرآن اصبح بصوتك اسمع الأكوان. يرفع الله الذين آمنوا منكم والذين أوتوا العلم درجات والله بما تعملون خبير. يخشى الله من عباده العلماء إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء إن الله عزيز غفور.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are welcome to another episode on this channel, NUURUN ALAA NUUR. In the previous episode, we talked about our purpose in life, which is to worship our God, Allah. Now is the time to discuss the knowledge of how to worship Him, which brings me to our topic of discourse, knowledge, the first step. Because without the knowledge, everything is meaningless. It's just like buying an electronic without the manual. My brothers and sisters in Islam, we all as Muslims sincerely believe that Islam is the greatest blessing that Allah has given us in the world, because it is the only way through which we can fulfill the purpose of our existence. We find our hearts filled with gratitude to Him for including us in the Ummah of the Prophet Muhammad. Blessings and peace be on him, and bestowing upon us this unique blessing. Allah Himself describes Islam as His most invaluable gift to His servant. He said in Surah Al-Ma'idah, Quran 5 verse 3, "Today I have perfected your deen, way of life for you, and I have completed my blessings upon you, and I have willed that Islam be the way for you." To be truly grateful for this greatest favor, we must therefore render to Allah His due. If we do not do so, we are undoubtedly an ungrateful person. And what ingratitude can be worse than to forget what you owe to your God? How can we, you may ask, render these dues, since Allah has been gracious enough to include us in the Ummah of the Prophet ﷺ? There is no other way than to be totally committed followers of the Prophet, and since He has made us a part of the Muslim Ummah, to become true Muslims. If we do not, the punishment for our ingratitude will be as great as the original gift to us. May Allah save us all from this great punishment. Ameen. Then we will now ask, how can we become Muslims in the true sense of the word? But first, let's think for a while. What does the word Muslim, which we all use so often, really mean? Can a person be a Muslim by virtue of his birth? Is a person a Muslim simply because he's the son or a grandson of a Muslim? Is a person born a Muslim just as a Yoruba man's son is born a Yoruba, or a white man's son born a white man, or a Negro son is born a Negro? Are Muslims a race, a nationality, or a caste? Do Muslims belong to the Muslim Ummah like Aryans belong to the Aryan race? And just as a Japanese is a Japanese because he's born in Japan, is a Muslim similarly a Muslim by being born in a Muslim country? Our answers to this question will surely be no. A Muslim does not become totally or truly a Muslim simply because he is born a Muslim. A Muslim is not a Muslim because he belongs to any particular race. He is a Muslim because he follows Islam. If he renounces Islam, he ceases to be a Muslim. Any person, whether an Englishman or a Yoruba, a white or a black, will on accepting Islam become a full member of the Muslim community. So being a Muslim is not by inheritance. Okay, now that we've agreed that we become Muslims only by accepting Islam, but what does acceptance of Islam mean? Does it mean that whoever makes a verbal profession, I'm a Muslim, or I have accepted Islam, becomes a true Muslim? Or does it mean that as a Brahman worshipper may recite a few words of Sanskrit without understanding them, a man also can utter some Arabic phrases without knowing their meaning, also can become a Muslim? What reply will we give to this question? You cannot but answer that accepting Islam means that Muslims should consciously and deliberately accept what has been taught by the Prophet ﷺ and act accordingly. Islam therefore consists firstly of knowledge, and secondly putting that knowledge into practice. A man can be white and have no knowledge. Because he's born white, he remains so. But no man becomes truly a Muslim without knowing the meaning of Islam, because he becomes a Muslim not through birth but through knowledge. Unless we come to know the basic and necessary teachings of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, how can we believe in him, have faith in him, and how can we act according to what he said or what he taught? And if we do not have faith in him, knowingly and consciously, as fully as we can, how can we become true Muslims? The real difference between a Muslim and a kafir is knowledge. A kafir, unbeliever, does not understand God's relationship to him and his relationship to God. As he does not know the will of God, he cannot know the right path to follow in his life. My brethren in faith, on this knowledge, whose absolute necessity I stress once again, depends whether you and your children are true Muslims and remain true Muslims. It is therefore hardly a trivial matter to be neglected, as we do not neglect cultivating our land, irrigating and protecting our crops, supplying fodder to our cattle, because we know that if we do, we will starve to death and so lose the precious gift of life. Why then should we be negligent in acquiring that knowledge on which depends whether we become Muslims or remain Muslims? Does such negligence not entail the danger of losing an even more precious gift, which can only sustain being in the present life and in the life to come? It is not necessary to study so extensively to become a Muslim. We should at least acquire sufficient knowledge to enable us to understand the essence of the teachings of the Quran and the purpose for which it has been sent down. Understanding clearly the mission which the Prophet ﷺ came into this world to fulfill. Recognizing the order and the system which he came to destroy, and finally the way of life which Allah has ordained for Muslims. No great amount of time is required for this if we truly value our iman. May Allah increase us in knowledge and understanding and continue to guide us aright. May Allah make the little I've said beneficial for us, both the speaker and the listener, and may he make it an hujjah for us and not against us in the hereafter. Amen. Till I come your way again next time, I remain yours sincerely, Mariam Aswediko. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الله نور السماوات والأرض مثل نوره كمشكاة فيها مصباح المصباح في زجاجة الزجاجة كأنها كوكب دري يوقد من شجرة مباركة زيتونة لا شرقية ولا غربية يكاد زيتها يضيء ولو لم تمسسه نار